This week we've taken a look at the enormous impact of climate change, and today Keith Kosinski's in the Arctic with young people examining the evidence of this ongoing crisis firsthand.
Who wants to start digging?
When I started the day today, I didn't realize I'd be doing so much physical labor, but Daniel and I are here and we're digging away.
It's like peeling back the layers of an onion. Ice piles up in layers.
Looking at the long-term trends in snowfall amounts is a great tie-in to how the climate's changing.
And as these students dig deeper into the water content of these layers of ice, in an actual glacier, a story sometimes thousands of years old is written about what happened at that time.
We have to measure how much water is coming into a glacier in order to determine whether or not that glacier is going to grow or shrink.
It's also an indicator of what the future may hold. And in the Arctic, it's important because some glaciers could vanish. For students here, it could even happen in their lifetime. And that's one of the reasons why they're here. Students on Ice, an organization founded 15 years ago, brings over 100 students from around the world to the Arctic to see this up close.
It was a really simple idea to use the Arctic and the Antarctic at the other end of the world as classrooms, because they truly are incredible places to learn about the global ecosystem, about politics, about culture, and how interconnected our planet is.
Students here spend nearly 2 weeks on the high seas with dozens of experts visiting some of the most remote places on our planet.
Oh, I see the surface.
With one goal in mind: protect the poles, protect the planet.
How has your experience been so far?
My experience has been amazing. It's been awesome to see glaciers. I don't really see any of this stuff back in New Jersey.
Being able to touch the icebergs, drink the glacial water, which is delicious by the way, it really put a very visual effect to climate change.
This region is warming faster than most around the planet, and students say they could sense it.
What is the scariest thing you've seen here in relation to climate change?
When I first decided to come on this trip to come to the Arctic, I was not expecting to see almost no ice, to have these people in their t-shirts. So it seems kind of odd to me that that's happening.
It may feel nice, but the risk associated with a warming world isn't something to mess with. And the issue is how fast this change is happening. Changes that usually happen over thousands of years are happening over centuries and decades.
Applying the label climate change to something makes it seem slow, maybe even a little bit natural. Climate chaos, on the other hand, that's something you have to deal with right away.
And there's this ongoing issue of when will we stop and when will we learn before consequences are too late.
Because these students say our country, our world, is not addressing climate change fast enough, and politics is getting in the way.
The world is not doing enough. Making it a very political issue has unfortunately impeded the capacity to put forward sensible, thoughtful, innovative climate policy.
I think the number of young people staring into their cell phones, not really caring about the world, leads to a huge disconnection from the world, and I think that's why I'm here right now, is because I need to be able to have that connection.
On this ship, students are without cell phones and have no access to the outside world. Instead, they learn about the region and put their brains together to think of ways to help solve these challenges.
Policy is one of the most important ways that we can make a difference. And that means talking with older people when you get the chance. It means writing letters to politicians. It means making your voice heard.
The question is what we do now. Assigning blame is one thing, but moving on is another thing. What's so nice about this trip is that you've got all these young people who, are full of energy and full of great questions and creative in the way that they approach things. And so I'm pretty hopeful for the future.
These students are already working toward a greener planet. While in high school, Robert used a combination of brain power and ingenuity to build his own electric car. And Alice, a student from Vancouver, Canada, recently spoke at a sustainability conference in front of hundreds of people.
I think that we will be able to offset climate change and the doom that everyone has already laid out for us, and that we can eventually get back onto the path that we're supposed to be on.
Keith Kosinski, Channel 1 News.
Pretty cool to see young people getting involved and having a little fun. And we've got more behind the scenes footage for you guys of Keith and the crew taking an ice cold Arctic plunge near polar bears. If you want to see how that one ends, head on over to channel1.com. All right, guys, we're all out of time, but we'll see you right back here tomorrow.